Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and here comes another episode of the Humanitarian project at Yiyang. Okay, now this is going to be a slightly different sort of episode because I really haven't discussed the financial components of this project much. I've talked about 1 million pesos, allocating that towards the project, but let's see how we're tracking. So this entire episode is on just the financials. So anyone that's bored by financials, you can just turn off now. But if you're interested to see what each item is costing, please stay tuned and we'll get that information to you in this episode. All right, so we're at Alvin's, where there's always something happening. I'm not going to show you because I don't want to bore you guys and say that all the time, but it is a strategy center and it's a place where I like to start quite a few of my videos. Anyhow, I want to get out to Yiyang and talk about the financial arrangements and components of the project. So let us do that right now and let's get out to Yiyang. Yeah, I will show you what's going on at Alvin's because I do find it very interesting. And the previous episode I showed you, and they were working on this area. They've been cutting up some lengths. There's 2 more posts going in here. Okay, this is getting bigger than Ben-Hur. Like, I don't know, is he building a 10-story skyscraper here? I don't know, but who knows when I come back in a couple of weeks' time what's going to be erected here, because the workmen are here, the materials are here, and it is going up. That's what's happening. We are going up. Well, I thought the best way to go through the financial components of this project is to just go out there and talk about them in front of them. So this was our biggest investment, okay, this 10,500 litre tank. It is instrumental to the project. It is the reason why we're going to have facilities like we're building in Yiyang. It's because of this water tank, and this clocks in at 226,000 pesos. Okay, and there's also the cartage and the transportation up to this road. So we also had a cost of 11 and 12,000 pesos on top of that. So that's what that costs. The plumbing, well, I'm not sure about the plumbing, but there's about 170, 180 meters. But I'll work that out a bit later on in this episode. But that's the biggest investment and the most important investment that we've had in the project. All right, let's go down the pump, yeah, because that was the next biggest cost in the project. It was down here, all the way at the bottom of the hill. It's a long way down. All right, we're down at the pump now, and it's running regularly. It's running pretty much all the time, which does concern me. The structure I have to improve a bit, obviously, and spend a little bit more money on that, but really not much. Alvin built this concrete structure out of the blocks, so it's all good and it's cheap labor. I actually haven't asked him how much he wants for that. He might just say, oh look, don't worry about it, it's cheap anyhow, labor's cheap around here, so he might throw that into the project. So I'm not going to include that in the financial cost of the project just yet. But this pump in here, it cost 15,000 pesos, and it's coming away. It's a second-hand pump, but it's working pretty hard. So I've got to think about that. The water's being used a lot, and I may have to address that issue. And I've got to be prepared for this pump, since it's on all the time, for it to break down one day, because pumps do need a bit of a relaxant, you know, they need a bit of a break. But anyway, there's your pump in there, 15,000 second hand. It would have been, you know, over 27 to 30,000 pesos brand new. It's an American pump, it is beautiful. Okay, so that's the financial cost of extracting the water out of the well, and also the cost to Beloy for actually making it happen was 70,000 pesos. So very well very well spent money there. All right, it's on to the water stations now. Let's see how much they cost. All right, before we move on to the water station costs, I just wanted to highlight some other costs and charges that we had on the project. Now, one of the bigger ones at the beginning of the project was the unsuccessful attempts at tapping bores 1 and 2, and that totaled 16,000 pesos. Okay, so now let's not forget the current bore that we've tapped, which is 7,000 pesos. That worked, that's good. Okay, so moving right along to the water piping in the street. So I forked out 12,500 pesos for the 3/4 blue PVC piping, and that's the piping to fill the tank. And the street piping, that 1-inch PVC blue piping, I used 145 3-meter lengths of that, and that totaled 27,550 pesos. So the last significant cost I do want to highlight is the tank electricals and the protective sheathing that we used, and that come to 9,000 pesos. All right, okay, let's move now on to the water stations. Okay, we're at water station 1 here. And look, the formula for all the water stations is pretty basic. Just for the slab and the plumbing and all the labor costs come to 4,000 pesos, all right? And for the drainage that we put in for this particular one, which is 27 meters down there, I've given them 2,000 pesos to get that job done, okay? Now when it comes to the parts, well, that information is just down below. All right, so that's water station 1. All right, okay, water station number 2, pretty much identical to water station number 1 when it comes to costs. 4,000 pesos to put the slab down and connect up all the plumbing, and we've got 2,000 for the drain system and the drainage down there into the vegetation. Right, we're at water station number 3. And again, that clocks in for the labour at 4,000. And we're looking at the drainage that we actually got to repair that. That won't cost much, so we've got to repair that, and we're going to repair some of this drainage here. So the labour cost for that is $2,000. As for the parts, well, yeah, you can see that information below as well. All right, we're at water station number 4, and they're constantly being used, which is good. Again, the financial component of the labour, we're looking at 4,000 for that. And the drainage we've got, it's a little bit more expensive with this one because there's quite a long length of drainage here. So I've actually given Jamel 3,000. Actually, it's a combined because this one links up with water station 5, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so that's the labour costs, and the financial, sorry, the parts costs, well, here they are. All right, I'm down at water station 5, but I cannot show you what is happening down at water station 5 because with vlogging, you've got to be very sensitive about what to show, and you can't show people bathing, especially kids. So I won't do that. But the financials are very, very important. So we're looking at 4,000 for the labour, and we're looking at, I think, 3,000 for the drainage. All right, so that's, and as for the parts, well, that's for the drainage parts, as well as the parts actually for the water delivery and the tap. Well, that information is just above. All right, we've just arrived at water station number 6, and this has a slightly different, I suppose you could say, financial component to it. Since this is a flat area and the drainage that we've installed, or Jamel's installed down here, goes to an area which we don't want to actually dump water into. We dump it into a barrel. It's a 200-litre barrel with a bottom that's been cut out, so the water can actually drain into the barrel and get distributed under the ground, so it doesn't say on the ground. All right, so the financials for this clock in at 4,000 for the labour, and we're looking at 2,000 for the labour on the drainage system. As for the parts, well, they're just here. Rightio, water station 0, I call it ground 0 purely because I didn't actually realise water station was going here. So I got 0 to 9. But again, that clocks in at 4,000 for the labour, and the drainage which goes under the road here. I paid $2,000 for that. As for the parts, well, they're just right here. All right, water station 7. Again, $4,000 for labour to build it and put the drain in, and the drainage again, 2,000 pesos. All right, so that's an easy one. And the cost of the materials, well, guess what? They're here. All right, water station number 8. This is a really nice location under a tree here. Plenty of containers to fill up. And we're looking at 4,000 again for the station and 2,000 for the drainage. And again, the parts for all this, plus the gate valve and all that, comes to, it's just there. All right, water station number 9, the last one. It's the furthest from the water tank. And it did worry me a little bit about the water pressure, but it's quite good actually. And I might call this the paradise or the tropical water station, because look at this palm tree it's under. What's a coconut tree, I should say. Yeah, a nice cute little coconut tree right next to the water station, which costs, yeah, you guessed it, $4,000 for the slab and also, sorry, for the labour of the slab laying and the plumbing and that. And it was $2,000 for the drainage. Okay, so that goes down there. All right, so as for the cost of the parts, well, guess what? They are up there. Yeah, so there you have it. That's the financials behind the project so far. All right, so just to summarize, okay, water station 1, water station 2, water station 3, water station 4, water station 5, water station 6, water station 7, water station 8, water station 9, and water station 10. All right, so that's the water stations for you at a grand total of, for the water stations. Okay, so that is it. That is the financial component or the financial episode of the Humanitarian project as we walk up to the tank where we just might wrap it up. Well, we can't wrap it up because I've got to tell you the total cost, haven't I? All right, and the total cost of the project is so far, beep, 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 pow! All right, so the last thing we've got to say before we sign off this episode, live your dreams, just get out there and just do it, okay? They got to be done. Everyone's got dreams. You got to live them, and you got to live them now, okay? Work towards them, all right? We'll see you in the next episode, and what can I say is goodbye and mahal kita again, yeah. Love you. I love you. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
Live your dreams. Live your dreams, passions and ultimate high. When you're down for the count, thinking about survival. Your head's in the gutter, far from revival. There's no way out, the pain is extreme. The answer's simple, it's so hard to dream. Dream you must, it's the only way back. Life depends on it, to give it a crack. Live your dreams, don't watch the world pass by. Live your dreams, passions and ultimate high. Chase your dreams, chase your dreams. It's the only thing to do. Chase your dreams, to live yourself bright and blue. Put on all your game, the game's to widen. The wave of life, you're finally on and riding. It's time to focus on fun and joy. yourself back to being a boy. Grab the chance, it's in plain sight. Get it now while the star is bright. Live your dreams and watch the world pass by. Live your dreams, passions and ultimate high. Chase your dreams, chase your dreams, it's the only thing to do. Chase your dreams, to live yourself light and blue. When you're down for the count, live your dream. When you're down, watch the world pass by. When you're down for the count, live your dream. Dream you must, it's the only way back. Life depends on it, so give it a try. Live your dreams, and watch the world pass by. Live your dreams, passions and ultimate high. Chase your dreams, it's the only thing to do. Chase your dreams, to live yourself light and blue. Live your dreams.